it depends on what their strategy is. If they don't want to be engaged on, or if they want to tower dive, this could be something to counteract that. Lissandra once again banned, this time by Lonhzhu on the blue side. They'll take out Lonhzhu, so not switching up their bans at all from the last game.
What's the final ban going to be for Samsung? A lot of power picks left up.
I mean, Fiora's still up,
Yeah.
Tahm Kench is still up, Rek'Sai is still up.
Misfortune is
Basically
falling
all
the way through.
all
Lulu.
their bans from last game are available, and instead, very different strategy
Oh boy.
from Samsung here, because instead of going for any of the bans that we saw them take in the last game, now absolutely everything that they banned last game is up. Rek'Sai, Fiora, Tahm Kench, all available. So if Samsung is putting a premium on these picks, by leaving 3 up, they can take 2 if they
True.
want it. And Lonhzhu immediately going for the Corki. And I question, maybe you ban Corki in this game, because that has been a cornerstone of Longhzhu's compositions, and you really see the priority they put on it now. First pick.
Yeah, and after Coco's performance last game, you can't really blame them. Lucian, Rek'Sai, the first pick for Samsung, but Longhzhu, if they can just respond here with Tahm Kench and maybe Graves too, that is stupid strong.
I really want to see a carry-oriented jungler from Chaser. He's been playing a lot of utility. He could go back to the Elise right here, but I want to see him go on a Kindred or a Graves. These are the picks that would be very exciting to me from that position. They could take Kindred, Fiora here.
Well, switching things around a little bit, Fiora would make more sense. See if that, I don't know if that Nunu is actually going to get locked in, but what does a blood-boiled Fiora do to an enemy team? I wonder. Looks like it's going to be Bard, though.
Bard, once again, Bard was buffed this patch, does have some more reliable damage, AoE on his Meeps now.
Yeah,
Once we get some chimes in.
it is pretty nice.
So Fiora going to be taken here, especially going to get that after having a ban placed against him in the first game of the series. So Lonhzhu again, they can flex the Corki. Both Jack and Coco have played it this season. Victor going to be taken for the wave clear now, which I think is smart after Crown got pushed in and his tower slowly chipped away
Makes
the
sense.
last game. Now they're going to play a little bit further back, not going to take a matchup. They may have assumed that Jack was going Corki in the last game, which would be reasonable considering he had played it previously in their last series.
Well, Thresh taken by Samsung too, so they can prevent that Fiora from getting in as easily as she would otherwise. But Elise, and it
TF.
will be the Twisted Fate.
Coco, a very strong TF player. And
Yeah.
we've seen some bans, mostly target bans, against Mickey for the TF, but otherwise not too much emphasis placed on it. But this is going to allow them to wave clear effectively and safely and try and power up Expression's Fiora so you can get the 4-1 split on as fast as possible. And with Corki, I mean, they can 1-3-1 split here with TF and with Coco in the late game. So what is Samsung's answer? They currently don't have anything to deal with this.
Now this is a pick that we were surprised to not see in Korea last week. That Poppy was so big across other regions.
Yep, and it's going to be a toppy.
It will be. Poppy up in top lane.
So this is something that has been done a lot in China, actually. The Chinese teams prefer to run Poppy top, and as opposed to support, which we've seen mostly out of Europe. And this is going to be a big power pick probably on this patch, and it's exciting to see the Poppy come through right now because it has been pretty dominant in 2 different regions, but not yet in Korea.
Yeah, and you can do things just like knock the Fiora away when she comes in. So it's nice defensive aspects of that pick. But I wonder, it's the first Poppy we've seen here in 2016 in Korea.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about the top Poppy versus Fiora matchup, so I will be interested to see how this is going to play out and how Kuve is going to play with the rest of his team right here. They do have a lot of damage and a big front line for team fights. But again, Lonhzhu just has been playing the map better, making better rotations. And so playing against a 1-3-1 composition against a team that has been so good at poke and taking objectives and your turrets is going to be quite difficult for Samsung, who definitely wants to group up here.
What, no Lollipoppy? Oh, come on. Kuve, you disappoint me.
I hate that skin.
That's why I'm disappointed. Did you even need to ask? Well, let's find out if Lonhzhu can take a 2-0 or Samsung can tie things up. Let's get in the game.
Everybody wants to rule the world. There's a room where the light won't find you. Holding hands while
All right, fine. Just cut the song off there. Welcome back to Summoner's Rift. Lonhzhu, with the support of the crowd, 1 game up against Samsung. Pretty dominating game number 1, but these two teams, I would say these are teams that I could see going to the 3rd game, but we haven't seen that yet this season. No game 3 so far in Champion Spring.
Yep. And Lonhzhu, again, they're going to play for mobility, and they're going to play for poke. They have the TF Corky combination, so they're not sticking with team fighting, which hasn't been something that they've shown so far in their 4 games this season.
I think it plays to their strengths right now. If you're a team that's still coming together strategically, you know, you want to maybe tailor your comp for something that allows for a bit more individual playmaking.
Well, it's also that they put Chaser and Coco onto the same team. And if we think about Chaser last season and last year, what was Chaser doing a lot of? Playing Nidalee and poke comps with Janair. What was Coco doing a lot of? Playing a lot of Jace and Ezreal with CJ.
True.
So both of these guys, as players, tend to skew towards more poke-oriented compositions. And so you put them together, and is it really a surprise that this is the kind of play that we're seeing?
I don't think it's a surprise.
And guess what? Expression
all.
finally gets his split-pushing champion.
Well, he'll be happy, but see if he can make it work. That Fiora, extremely strong right now, obviously, but against a champion like Poppy, this will be interesting. Like we said, no Poppy at all last week in Champions. But here it is now, and it looks like Lonhzhu will lane swap into this.
Yeah. Interesting that they want to go for that early, but denying the Poppy will be pretty effective, and Poppy does have to retreat right here and do some duo jungling alongside Ambition.
Yep, Coco pushing up on this mid lane pretty quickly, and they really need to make sure that he keeps this turret alive. If you lose that mid turret early on as a Twisted Fate, your opportunities to show up in other lanes and cause trouble just go way down.
Coco's an excellent TF player, though, and he's not going to have a lot of pressure early. Has TP in case he needs to get back into lane, so he should be just fine. But this is going to be Wraith on a roam.
Yeah, Wraith coming in. Coco may need to burn his flash. No, he'll be able to walk away.
No, he's playing on the smart side, playing on the strong side right now.
Yep.
Knows that he's got Chaser in his blue side jungle there to help out if necessary, so no big deal. And does the smart thing in terms of positioning, and that allows him just to slowly auto this wave in.
Yep. Keeping that mana up with the blue card. I wonder, are we just going to see the turret trading?
Oh, yes, we are, Noah.
Oh, boy.
Isn't that what you wanted? I heard that's what you liked, so I talked to them and had them do it.
Only if it results in a lot of kills, but it doesn't, so no, let's not do that. Coco dodging the death ray.
And, well, the results of this lane swap, actually, because of Wraith's roam, it's actually hardly any damage onto that bot lane turret right now. So now the question comes into...
Ambition forces a flash out of Coco. They're going to chase him. A little bit of damage, but...
Death Ray misses right there, too. And especially going to get the full damage, he is going to have the wave reversal here. So Samsung does finally get enough damage to take out this turret just barely. But this should be a pretty favorable lane swap for Lonhzhu Gaming because they didn't waste a lot of time. They got to the turret faster, and that means that they're going to have more control over the waves. So Kuve, in a bit of a rough position, does pick up the blue buff to compensate for it, but Samsung committed a lot to trying to kill Coco in the mid lane, and all they got was burning his flash, at least for now.
It's something, but it's not.
There's no Ignite on Victor either, so finishing power, a bit questionable, and Fiora, meantime, may be able to get a CS advantage, but they're not committing the support down into that bottom side right now. Good vision in the enemy jungle. So maybe not. Maybe this will all end up even Steven, despite the little bit of a delayed push there from Kuve. And if that's the case, then burning that flash certainly was worth it.
Yeah. I would say so. You can see Coco playing a little bit farther back in the lane. Now he has to because that flash is not usable for a little bit yet.
Yeah, no Bard. Bard and Elise now moving into the Samsung blue side to start warding up very heavily and threaten a dive here onto Poppy. And they're going to get that lane ward. Missed timing. Chaser actually going to time that so it's seen by the minion wave.
Lonhzhu wasting no time at all, going for another turret here. Down in bot lane, looks like they'll probably just trade again.
Yeah, we just see immediately Ambition making the right call and pathing up to the top tower so they can make some sort of even trade with the turrets. But again, they're just a step behind. So every time this happens, it rushes Samsung on the minion wave. So what you don't want to happen is for you to lose control of bouncing the minion wave. And I think, honestly, that Samsung was a little lucky that they got out the way that they did after that last pressure where, for all intents and purposes, Cuvée and Expression were able to go relatively even. But basically, Lonhzhu has a lot of time right now to do what they want, and we're going to see these guys up at topside pressure just a little bit more to take that turret quickly and maybe not get the ideal number of minions killed. Not going to be the case here, as there's no one to support
the great thing
Expression.
The great thing for Lonhzhu is that they're able to just take a dragon out of this too.
Yep, free dragon. And free CS. You can see that Lonhzhu, what they did was they prepped the wave in the bottom side to push back towards them, and then immediately went to the dragon because they know that that CS is going to be waiting for them later on. And now they have to recall back in this top side. Expression has a wave pushing towards him. Oh, Cuvée all alone, and there's a flash.
Cocoon. Yeah, Chaser got him right after that flash was used by Cuvée, and that's first blood going to Captain Jack on the Corki already.
This is going extremely well for Lonhzhu.
Yes, it is.
Especially with that first blood. But the wave pushing back towards them, and the information that Lonhzhu had right there, they knew that Lucian had just recalled in the top side, so they had a guaranteed man advantage on the bottom side of the map, and Cuvée playing a little too far up, and now they have to deal with two freezes coming their way, and how are they going to cope with that? They just saw Corki recall, so Wraith knows it's safe to be in the river. But this is a tough situation for Samsung right now because they are pretty much guaranteed to overextend, and look at Expression's CS lead growing by the minute. Expression was busy farming the jungle while Cuvée was running around in his lane.
Yeah, it's not the strongest start ever for this top Poppy.
The lane swap just ended up much better. If Samsung had been able to get a kill onto TF early, that could have been great. But now they're trying to farm, and there's a 6 TF on the board. Like, this is so dangerous for Samsung to try and punish any kind of freezing. Basically, Lonhzhu right now can sit here and freeze as much as they want, and then make constant threats with TF if you try and farm this. So it's all going quite well. They're trying to get into the jungle and take that away as some form of punishment, but I don't think it's going to be enough right now. It all comes down to where Stitch plays on the map.
I mean, like you said too, anytime Coco leaves vision, Samsung needs to pull back because they don't quite know where he's going to end up.
And look at this free farming right now. Captain Jack starting to take a CS lead. Samsung will try and punish with a blue buff. So this is pretty good pressure by Samsung considering this tough situation they put themselves into. Wraith is actually going to get his hook reposted there. But, I mean, they're basically farming two ways right now while Lonhzhu is farming three. So if they can't actually make a play or get a turret, they are inevitably going to start falling behind.
Coco electing to walk back to lane rather than teleport. He's already got Chaser here there to defend. Samsung really wants to take this turret. They're doing a lot of damage to it. They may be able to get it.
Yeah,
I think they will. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow, it was close. Very close.
It's more lost time, though. They did force Captain Jack to leave his freeze in the bottom side. So that is of value, and they got some chip damage to hopefully equalize this. So I'm actually surprised that Samsung has been able to punish this as well as they have, considering the TF in the mid lane. But Crown has been doing a good job of applying pressure, and honestly, Stitch was in the right place at the right time. Sure, he lost some CS, but at least they prevented them from having some sort of permanent freeze going on where they would have lost a lot more in the end.
Yeah. Expression just getting even more farm down in bot lane now. Way ahead of Cuvée. But if you're Samsung, I suppose you do have to put some pressure on now. You can't just kind of sit and wait.
Well, Lonhzhu has a 1,000 gold lead because of farming and minion wave control, and the way to equalize that is to take towers and punish them for trying to freeze 2 side waves at the same time, but they haven't actually followed through and gotten the gold out of that objective yet.
Captain Jack pushing pretty far up,
Yeah.
but he's got a support there. He's also on Corky, so he can escape pretty easily.
I think they realized that Samsung was going to punish them with another mid push if they didn't actually force some sort of reaction in a side lane. And they've done the damage. I mean, Cuvée is very far behind.
Sure enough. Captain Jack spotted by Ambition, his former teammate.
And that lane freeze put them 50 CS ahead in their side lanes. It's pretty impressive. Cuvée will get some of that back right now. And of course they will get some of that back when it hits their tier 2, but as soon as the pressure is on in favor of Lonhzhu, they will have more chances to make plays and punish. They can play around the next dragon very well.
Yep. And with already 1 dragon to their name too, I mean that's just more pressure onto Samsung.
Really early first dragon, very unusually early. But it came off of the better lane swap in the time that Lonhzhu had while Samsung was still busy pushing down the top lane because they were just quicker.
Yeah, if you finish that bottom turret first, why not? You know, why not just go for the dragon? Because you know they're going to have 3 people committed to top. Looks like it's going to be the Rift Herald now for Lonhzhu.
Let's give him some more control, why not? See where Captain Jack goes with this. It may be time to send TF into a split push and then allow Captain Jack just to sit mid with the Rift Herald and control the mid wave. So we'll see where exactly Coco's going and where Jack is going to go. Actually, he's going to head top with the package and the Herald.
Okay. I guess it provides him with more escapability and more wave clear if he wants it. Coco pushing up this mid lane. He's got Expansion there to help him too. Bot is already pushing, so they can commit a little bit more to this, I guess.
Yep, and this is the result. They're all just going to group top right now. They're going to play around the Herald.
Why not?
With Captain Jack and get into the top side of the map.
Oh, gold card. That's a lot of damage on the crown. Thank you, Thunderlords.
God bless our glorious Thunder God. And his 3 stack damage.
That's right. Thanks, Thor.
Well, looks like Jack is just going to sit there in the top side. No real pressure. Looked like they were going to try and make some sort of 5-man movement, but they have to punish Samsung. Samsung now in the same situation where they're trying to go for a deep freeze to catch their 80 carry out.
Oh, excitement.
You love this part of the game.
Oh, yes,
the lane swap.
Yep.
This is the lane swap reality we live in now, Doa.
I know. I know. Don't worry. We've been through seasons, lane swap seasons that have been worse than this, actually. We have. Remember the Ziggs days? Remember the SKTS days? This is better than that.
I try to block Easy Hoon Ziggs from my memory at every possible opportunity.
Yeah, but it's times like this. You have to think about it and be like, well, at least we're not watching Easy Hoon Ziggs. At least this game isn't going to go for an hour and a half.
So you think?
I suspect. I hope so. Or long game. What is this, Renegades versus TL?
Oh, God.
Lonhzhu may be making a play for this dragon. They're certainly looking like they're trying to set up the vision for it anyway.
Yep. Might as well take it right now. Nothing better's happening. Just start to add some more buffs in there and some more threat for the late game.
Yeah. Ambition taking the double-headed wolf. It's clearly an abomination, so it's good to put it out of its misery.
Yeah, the mutants should be culled.
That's right. Looks like the minions are called too.
That's why the X-Men don't like me very much, because of that opinion, Doa.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're on board with the whole Sentinel program and all that?
Absolutely.
I can see that.
If I can't be an awesome mutant, why should they be allowed to exist?
Wow. That is not the right attitude, man. You have to send somebody back in time to stop you. Only we got to find out what the right moment is.
That's right, you have to pinpoint the moment where I invent the Sentinel program.
That's right. Gotta watch out.
It hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
Or so I say.
Well, yeah, we don't know. We don't know, man. Versus LCS team ownership. Who knows what's going on with all that money?
Uh-oh.
Oh, Bug Splat!
It's my favorite point.
They're coming. They're coming for you. They heard. Not allowed anymore. Well,
Let's take a look at Coco.
I'm innocent for the record. Anyone who's listening, Monty's 100% responsible for the Sentinel program. I love mutants. They're great.
I love the
be
Coco.
one. Everyone loves the Coco. I'm in love with the Coco. There he is.
And we're back in game now, so spectator
Moment.
client crash. We'll be back in
All
just a
right.
second.
That's right.
Surprisingly, I'm sure.
I know. I thought this was going to be a
Nothing
lot
has
longer of a
happened.
break. Yeah, I guess you can have bug splats in these kinds of games, and it's not really, you don't lose a whole lot. Like, well, they're probably just still milling around the mid lane and keeping lanes pushed. Yep, and that's
They
exactly
got
what's
Dragon,
happening.
though, so that's
Well,
exciting.
we saw that right before the bug splat happened, so it's okay.
Nice Dragon secure.
Yeah.
Longhzhu.
Dragon secured. You know, they're
Have
really,
they have a dragon for the Dragon Balls.
I mean, they have to be Dragon focused, right? If they have Dragon in their title.
I wonder which. I don't know enough Chinese to know which part of Longhzhu is Dragon and which part is Ball.
Long is Dragon.
Okay.
Chu is Ball.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Chinese expert, Doa.
Well, I just know that Shenlong is like the Dragon in Dragon Ball. So
Oh, putting it together.
That's
I like
right.
it.
It's kind of like Sherlock
Nice,
Holmes.
nice
you know?
deductive reasoning, Doa.
Elementary, my dear Monty.
Well, that was really exciting, almost.
Nah, not really. Just do the lantern, dude. Gold card onto Ambition. That was almost exciting, too. Yep.
The Bard. Bard trying to create a pick right there with the Magical Journey, but Stitch and Wraith too quick, and Crown and Ambition shut down the TF ultimate. Oh, are they going to get the turret, though? Stitch is here.
They could. Maybe. Only a little bit of damage.
Oh, it's
Wow.
close.
Like one more auto from Stitch would have probably done it.
Yeah, can't quite get it on that push, but they've nearly accomplished their goal of moving up and evening the goal score in this game. But the real problem here, it's not the mid turret, Doa. It's Expression, who is turning into a monster that Samsung has absolutely zero tools to deal with.
That's true. You're on the run. Can he get out with a Magical Journey? You bet he can. Magical Journey. Looks like the mid turret's going to take a Magical Journey to the afterlife, though. Well, that implies that the turret was alive. I guess it's not.
That
Probably
implies
so.
that there's an afterlife.
That implies a lot of.
We're
implies
running on a lot of
things.
assumptions right here now, Doa.
I mean, I don't know what the lore is like. Clearly there's some form of afterlife because Thresh is moving around after being alive.
No, we already discussed that Longhzhu, well, basically League of Legends is the Viking afterlife. It is Valhalla.
That's true. You just kind of battle
Where
for
you
eternity.
battle for eternity, and every time you die, you resurrect and go back to battle again.
Yep.
It's never ending. So it must be necessarily Valhalla.
I
They are,
suppose.
all the champions are dead. Everyone is already dead here.
That's why Thunderlord's OP, man. Yep.
More evidence that Summoner's Rift is actually Valhalla.
We need Sleipnir Hecarim skin then.
I would love to see that.
Yeah. 8-legged Hecarim.
Unfortunately, they already opened the EU Northeast server, so we may not actually get that one. There won't be a server launch skin for that.
Well, probably right. It's too bad. There's always time. I feel like if we say it, though, it'll never happen. It could, though. There's no reason why it can't. A little bit of turret damage.
Oh.
Pure grabbed. Has to flash away. Box actually used by Wraith. He thought he had Pure caught there, but didn't account for the Summoner. Summoner spell. Not the Summoner thing. That's out of the game.
Yeah, not
Long
more
time
summoners.
ago.
But summoner spells exist.
That's
But
right.
now we don't know who is casting them.
That's true. Where are these spells coming from if there's no Summoners? Are they just spells?
Yeah, they
Would
should
make
change
sense.
the name to Spell.
Yeah, or just special spell. I'd like to select my special spells, please.
I like how the mechanic of being a summoner and having summoner spells, which was so core to differentiating League of Legends from other MOBAs and having things like runes and masteries,
Yeah.
now doesn't even make any sense. Yet Riot continues to work on the lore.
Well, and we just had a Shen rework, and he's still a ninja.
That's the most depressing thing of all,
I
honestly.
know. I saw that Warlord. We were talking about this before the cast. This is all we talk about, really. We don't prep. We just talk about Shen. But I was looking at the Warlord Shen splash art, and I'm like, that would be a great champion that represents more of what Shen actually is.
But you know what? That would ruin the lore, Noah.
Would it?
It would, because
I know.
of the ninja stuff with Zed.
But why can't the school just be a school that teaches more than one sort of martial art?
Well, I mean, then they'd have to retool the lore, and you know they've done that enough, and it's already just a giant mess. So
Clearly, we need to open it up to like a wiki style thing where the fans can write it. And people can just go in and edit it, you know?
I love this idea.
Yeah.
I actually think it would make more sense that way.
We need a league of wiki lore, and then people can just make our own lore, you know?
It's collaborative storytelling.
That's right. It's kind of like everybody writes a sentence. It's kind of like Mad Libs with lore for the largest video game on the planet.
I would argue that it already is Mad Libs with lore, but
and then Poppy was looking
I mean,
for
it
the
is.
hero.
It literally is. You have words like summoner that have no connotation to the rest of the game anymore.
That's right.
We've actually entered some sort of postmodernism in fantasy lore with League of Legends.
And then and then you've got to dive onto Kuve. Here we go. TP coming in from Coco, rather ult. That Twisted Fate and an easy pickup in top lane. Looks like they're going to give up a dragon, though. Do you think it was worth it, top turret to kill for a dragon?
Oh, yes, because look at the Bard ult right there that has delayed this dragon, and now they have to decide whether they're going to get a dragon or defend their inhibitor.
Wow, what an ult from Pure. Samsung in a tough
baller.
spot. They don't get the inhibitor, but Lonhzhu does take the inhibitor turret.
That was a dirty Bard ult, though.
That was so worth it. Man,
Great call from Lonhzhu.
no kidding.
So they forced that trade. So Lonhzhu has to give up the dragon, but it is totally worth. And they played around the CS advantage that Expression had gotten, and now the unstoppable Fiora split push. Oh, it is coming.
Oh, it is here.
It is on, Doa.
It is, as they say, on. Goodbye, minion. You've served your purpose. Magical journey. Wow.
Did you turn into a penguin in that tunnel?
Yeah, I believe so.
It's quite magical then.
Not since Super Mario 64 have there been such entertaining, fast-moving penguins.
That's a bold claim. I feel like there's been a lot of media with penguins released in the
I don't know. Give me another example. Ooh. Yeah, see? You can't.
When was Batman Returns released?
Well, after Mario 64, No. Batman Returns? I thought I was thinking of Batman and Robin because that's one with Mr. Freeze. No penguins, though.
No,
Well, actually, there was
Penguin
some.
is in Batman Returns.
I
the
think
Tim
Mr.
Burton one.
Freeze had some penguins hanging out in his ice lair, too.
Damn.
Tonight's forecast. A freeze is coming.
That was actually a good impersonation.
Thank you. Well, what can you do? It's been really cold in Seoul lately, too.
Yes, below freezing this entire week, in fact. Mr. Freeze was right.
He's right.
About the forecast.
A freeze is coming. I'm a very good weather forecaster. That was my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger role. Forget Conan, that was great. Forget the Terminator. It's all about Mr. Freeze. It's all about this duel in the top lane for Expression and Kuve, though. But you know none of them are going to die. Come on. Like, that happens when two top laners fight each other.
Well, they could potentially die. I mean, we really haven't seen Kuve use his ultimate yet in this game. It's disappointing, but Lonhzhu hasn't given a chance. Uh-oh, Bartle onto Stitch.
Yeah. Whoa, that's some damage.
Do you like
All right.
phosphorus bomb damage? I do. Meanwhile,
Jack.
Expression continues to torture Kuve.
Yep.
And, you know, honestly, Fiora, there's nothing you can do right here. Like, if Fiora gets to this point, you cannot play against it.
Whoa, Keeper's verdict! Timing. The timing was flawless.
Well, that was
The
actually
verdict is no inhibitor for you.
that was actually a really big mistake from Lonhzhu. They shouldn't have been that close to each other, because even if one of them had stayed there, they probably could have finished off that inhibitor, considering that CF has the Lich Bane and Fiora is Fiora. So that was a positional error from Lonhzhu, but it was a nice ult too.
I mean, they could have just gotten the inhibitor if it would have been just Expression, probably.
No, he would have been bounced.
Yeah, well, the positioning too. Oh well.
I love that ult. It's one of my favorite ults in the game now.
It is cool. Now the effect that was just the subject of a lot of funny bug videos in the past is an actual ability in the game. It's great.
It's very, like, I like ults or abilities that are both funny to watch, like amusing to watch and exciting to watch, and also are extremely useful in a variety of situations and have a lot of utility to them. So
I mean, there's
definitely one of my favorite abilities Riot has made in recent memory.
There's a lot of depth to the uses for Keeper's Verdict. I like it.
Keeper's Verdict, though, not sure about that name.
Well, see, the thing is that Poppy is the keeper of the hammer, and so she decides you're not worthy and just bounces you away, man.
They could have called it Come On and Slam, just saying.
Well, I'm sure they have something like that for Darius already. Space Jam Poppy.
Missed opportunities.
Yep. We know there are many for skins.
And she sends you to space. Works, right?
That's right. Jack got the package again. Dragging up in a minute 30. And we'll see how much Lonhzhu wants to prioritize this.
Yeah, and they've just kept everybody from Samsung split up this entire game so far, playing with multiple pressure points on the map so far. Samsung hasn't been able to get the grouped team fight that they really want, and that's where Poppy really shines these days. Because
Chaser could be in trouble. Chaos Storm dropped, and it looks like only the Spider Link will be the... Oh, gotta be careful there, man. That thing's that was a long range. Wow. And Coco slowed down a bit. In the gravity field has to burn his flash.
Nice
Crown
cleanse.
chasing. And can Crown actually finish him off? Guess he can. That's a decent amount of
really
damage.
nice cleanse from Crown right there. Instant on the gold card before flashing the wall. Really well played. Nice little duel.
Yeah, Coco getting a little bit overeager there. Samsung is behind, but they're not so behind that they're out of the game completely. They've still got a decent chance.
Well, if they can force that team fight too, it's going to be absolutely huge, because Kube could just eject Expression from the team fight, and then they'll have a 5v4 with a whole lot of AoE.
Now, Coco's ult and TP is up, so he can get to the dragon as soon as he comes back to life again. At least Lonhzhu has that going for them. But Samsung has all the time in the world to set up for this one.
So just wave clearing right now with the Victor. They still have their mid turret up here at 27 minutes. So Samsung's defensive game has been on point in the mid lane, even if they have faltered in top. But really hard to deal with a Fiora after their...
Dragon's up, and Samsung is going to start it immediately. Here we go, Twisted Fate coming in. Has that gold card loaded up, doesn't decide to use it on anyone. It looks like Samsung may just get this dragon.
Well, they want to push up and then delay backs right here for Fiora.
Yeah, that's right. They're trying to set up that split push as Fiora goes for the inhibitor, but it looks like they can't really delay it. Samsung just gets away clean.
Yeah, but can they stop this inhibitor from going down?
I don't know.
They can.
They probably
Spoiler.
cannot do it unless Poppy gets there and knocks Expression away, but he's not going to get there in time.
And Expression, the split push master, has returned, takes an inhibitor.
Oh, Grand Challenge used. They're going to knock him up with the Keeper's Verdict. Expression trying to make it out. Dodges a lot of that culling. Still alive. Flash used. Stitch giving up the chase. Meanwhile, the mid turret in trouble. Big ult from Bard coming down, but Chaser finds himself in the middle of everything. He's not going to make it out of that one alive. Goodbye.
And they burn Kube's TP, though. Expression still has his, so they lose Chaser. But they take down an inhibitor, so a massive win right there. Again, Lonhzhu just completely outplaying Samsung on the map. Samsung, now they're taking objectives, but they're always making a worse trade.
Well, let's see how this one goes. Setting up for Baron now.
Yeah, they have to do it. They have to do it now
Chaser.
while Chaser's dead. Otherwise,
Chaser's
they lose
dead.
this game, probably.
Yep. Here we go. Lonhzhu coming in to try to stop
No
this
Bard
one.
ult.
No Bard ult, but that Baron is doing a lot of damage. Kube going the back lines, locks up Captain Jack. Captain Jack is okay, though. Samsung turning around on this one. The Baron's been delayed.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Baron is still, they're not
Yep.
going to be able to get it. And that's really,
That's big.
that's the fight they really needed to take, honestly. Yes, there's super minions in their base, but they're not going to have a better chance to win this game because they needed to force that team fight. That was a situation where they were trying to force it, but I feel like they didn't commit enough, especially when the Bard ult was down. You could totally deal with that situation if you're Samsung. You have to commit to that fight. If you win that, maybe you can win the game. If you lose it, you're almost certainly going to lose the game now.
It's not over yet, but it's tipped a little bit back in
Well, how do you deal with this?
Longhzhu's favor now.
Fiora is still going to be split pushing. Now you have to deal with super minions. You don't have the teleport up anymore. Meanwhile, 2 TPs and a TF ult available to Longhzhu. This is like the world's easiest Baron pressure that's about to come in from Longhzhu.
But will they do it? That's the question.
They've been pretty good at shot calling tonight. As soon as they kill this mid turret, which is not going to be easily defensible.
Yeah, well, with the wave clear from Stitch and Crown,
Yeah, but they have to commit so much to this. Who's going to stop Fiora now?
I don't know, man. I'm just a play-by-play caster. You're the one with the answers.
Sometimes.
You have no answer now for Samsung.
I don't have an answer for Samsung unless Longhzhu misplays this. And here's the banner of command.
Yep. Well, there's a minion that the banner of command was used on. Let's be precise here.
Okay, you're right.
All right. We don't want to confuse people. Oh, nice response by Kube, pinning Expression against the wall with the turret firing at him. Not bad.
They should just do Baron. I don't know why. I mean, they see Stitch in base right now. I think they really want to take this mid turret before they do Baron because it's significantly safer if they can finally crush that objective.
I mean, you're just not going to get minions close to it, though.
No, I don't really have to. You just poke it.
Don't try to dash around Poppy Expression. Come on.
Well, we nearly took top turret so far.
Just waiting for the wave. Actually, you can just go and take it. Yep. There you go. Nothing Kube can do about that one. Another turret.
You know, I was happy to see new Expression. The Expression that team fights, that he did so well in that Gnar in the last game. But you know what? It also warms my heart to see old Expression that will just split push forever and take all your structures.
Well, the best is multi-dimensional Expression that has
Apparently,
a variety of strategies.
I'm actually super impressed with Expression's play this season. He is looking like an entirely different player.
I mean, everyone's talking about put flame in, including me. But do you really need to?
No.
I don't think so.
Not if Expression's going to play with this kind of huge champion pool, this many styles. He is looking like a very good top laner right now.
Thurn heard you say that, and he's just like, SI is done, man. It's done. Just warning you.
All right. Thanks. It's been canceled.
You heard it here first, folks. That turret's still alive in 32 minutes. Maybe. With Corky's package, they can finally take it out. Oh, almost. Oh.
I like how Coco has the Lich Bane and they still and the Trinity Force onto Corky and they still have yet to take out this turret.
Yeah. Well, they've lost a lot in other lanes.
Cohen going to annihilate that wave. I mean, eventually Stitch is going to have to go back and deal
there it is.
With the super minions. And finally, 32 minutes, nearly 33 minutes into this game, Longhzhu takes the tier 1 mid turret.
Yeah, but you know what, Monty? You don't win a game for keeping your mid turret alive. You win a game by keeping your enemies from destroying your Nexus. Oh, Crown cleanses that cocoon immediately.
Trying to surround here.
Pure Cap Jack can be in a little bit of trouble here. Chaser trying to help out. Nice Bard ult to slow down the rest of Samsung. Man, Pure's had some great ults. And that's a lot of damage.
Pure's been great this game.
It's a lot of damage from that Chaos Storm, but Pure really saved the day yet again just now. Not bad. They're going to go for the Baron anyway. That seems kind of risky, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty slow with just Corky, Chaser, and Pure's Bard there. But they're going to have the ult back in. We do have a...
Okay, it's low. They get the Baron, but can they get away? Low health for everyone. They're going to give up Expression, I guess. He's going to issue a challenge to Wraith. Can he get to him? Flashing over the wall. Going for it. Can't quite kill him. And
maybe
at least they got the Baron.
Maybe not worth using your flash for a support right there.
Yeah.
But can't get the kill in the end. Wraith dodges over the wall with a flash of his own. But that still is the Baron complete for Longhzhu. And hello.
Oh, wow. Coco just using his teleport to get right onto that top inhibitor.
Wow, Gat didn't stop Kube right there.
Look out. Poppy's coming for you. No, just kidding. And Samsung takes their third dragon of the game. So they've got the dragon lead at the moment, but they've lost that inhibitor. They don't have Baron.
really hurts to not have the Baron buff on this Fiora for closing the game purposes for Lonhzhu.
That is a good point.
So no TPs. TF ult will be back up in a little bit, but obviously not as ideal as a teleport for a 1-3-1 split push.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess Expression's just going to have to group up, isn't he?
We'll see. There's no TP from Kuve too, so he could still split off to the side by himself.
I suppose.
Which might delay the completion of this game slightly, and he's going into the bottom side, everyone else.
That was a OQ tribute moment from Expression there.
Yeah, definitely questionable TP, a little bit late there too.
RIP and NA, OQ.
Okay. So it's going to take a minute to get these waves in. Exciting times, will we wait for that?
No, not really. It's not too exciting. I mean, I'm glad you're finding enjoyment in it, but
I love
I don't know.
minion waves, Doa.
I know you do. The pushing of such, the freezing, minion waves.
It's great.
Yeah, so I've heard.
It's the best part of League of Legends, really.
Well, you're in the right season and patch then. Expression's back to that split push in the bottom lane. Nice minion wave, helping him out there. Oh, he didn't get it.
Can't quite kill the ward. He also didn't kill the pink ward deeper in his lane. Check that brush.
Odd. Missed that one. Will anything stop LZ
They
from
have
taking
two
this
people
turn?
trying to kill Expression, but that is just not going to work. Stitch and Ambition trying to team up in the top side, but there's just really nothing they can do. They were attempting to get it because Coco couldn't port easily to the bottom side of the map, but guess what? Expression just heals himself right back up and continues his pressure. Very methodical sieging here from Lonhzhu Gaming.
It's a very, very close hook from Wraith. That death sentence nearly connected. But now the pressure comes to the minion wave in the middle. And how much damage is this turret going to take? Poppy coming down from top, and Lonhzhu drawing back for the moment.
Expression decided to group in the mid lane here, so it looks like they are just going to retreat, not having done a whole lot. They did take the last remaining tier 2 turret.
I mean, they've got so much pressure on the map, so they're not really in a big hurry to end the game, are they?
Well, it could be a long one because they don't really have that many ways to end right now. Baron
True.
buff is now off. They're not on the verge of collecting a 5th dragon. They could just wait for the next Baron buff and try and force some sort of engagement. But they've only got one inhibitor down. Meanwhile, Samsung has plenty of wave clear to deal with that one inhibitor having fallen.
He does turn into an adorable penguin when he does that, doesn't he?
Everybody turns into a penguin. It's the penguin tunnel.
Yeah. The penguin tunnel. That sounds like a kind of a new age kind of band name, doesn't it? Penguin tunnel. I feel like they'd be from Portland or something.
Oh, man.
Oh, Expression.
Getting close there. Playing with fire a little bit around Wraith, but they need to start moving again to get some wards into the enemy jungle. And it's back to Fiora still pushing in the top side against Poppy, I guess. And TF in the bottom. Almost all TPs available again. Coco waiting a few more seconds on his.
Yep. So, the slow but steady strangling of Samsung continues.
Okay, so are we going to see actual pressure right here as Jack is going to Valk
Maybe.
out of a Death Ray?
Maybe we will.
I mean, that top
think
turret's
so.
getting really close to dying.
Yep, that bottom turret.
Or bottom
got
turret,
taken
rather.
down. Top turret's already long dead.
It's been dead for a really long time.
Yep. Mid turret's still up though, and Chaser not quite dead yet. Wow, Expression just putting tons and tons of hurt on Kuve in that top lane.
And now they have to deal with the TF on their inhibitor with the Lich Bane.
Yep.
And some more AP now too with the Death Cap, so that's going to fall just a little bit faster.
Oh, all right. Expression can't kill the top inhibitor.
I mean, Samsung just doesn't have
Yeah.
an answer to this. They have too many people that require... Uh-oh. Actually, Stitch nearly killed Coco in a 1v1.
Interesting.
So there we go. Goodbye, pressure. It was nice to know you. Oh, Jack,
Are you
can I
sure?
get this with face tanking?
Almost. Almost. It's got some nice warm hot cocoa to keep him supplied and happy.
I wish I had some hot cocoa for this Korean weather.
Dude, it's so cold right now. But then I just look at the temperature in Minnesota and I'm like, it's not so bad. Korea's making me weak, man.
Is it?
I can't walk around in a
The weather
t-shirt.
and the kimchi sapping your
zero.
strength.
Well, I think kimchi makes you stronger, but I think the cold, the milder weather makes you weaker, you know? I've been too long away from the frozen tundra.
Uh-oh. Great.
A little bit of damage.
All right, they're going to use the magical journey to try and get topside.
Or will they? Oh, Chaser gets caught completely. Bardalt keeps him alive for the moment. Wraith taking a lot of damage. Chaser still goes down in the end. And Lonhzhu going to just take that top inhibitor as a consolation prize for losing their mid laner. Baron is up right now. It was not a great time to lose Chaser, but can Samsung really even get out of their base right now?
I mean, they have
I
another
guess they
shot
can.
here to try and take some objectives, right?
Yeah.
Expression is still going to be split pushing and doing what he can, but by taking down Chaser, Kube with the flash body slam, a flash E, heroic charge, what's it called?
I believe so. Heroic charge. Yeah.
Yep.
All right,
This is
Samsung
it.
going for the Baron. Yeah, this is do or die time.
Again, no Bard ult.
Yep, not a lot of big ults available. Lonhzhu trying to poke away, but they may just have to give that Baron up. I think they will, unless they can steal it. Nope, no Miracle Steal coming in. And so Samsung's going to have a Baron buff to push back against all this pressure.
Fiora's still on an inhibitor, and he's going to get number 2.
Jeez, all right. Meanwhile,
So they have a Baron buff, but they have 2 super minion waves to deal with. And Lonhzhu is just going to be able to fall back straight into the dragon. They do get vision on everyone with the help of TF, and this means Samsung wants to go for a dragon. This will put him on the verge of number 5.
yeah,
But
can Lonhzhu just push mid maybe?
they're going to push mid a little bit. They don't want to overcommit because they could get collapsed on from the river.
I suppose. So that's dragon number 4 and a Baron for Samsung.
That's a great play. Samsung,
Yeah.
they've been a little bit behind this game in terms of these objectives, but they're not playing badly. They've hung in this game for a really long time and just about equalized things when it comes to gold because everyone is approaching that 6-item threshold. But
The threshold is exactly what Samsung wants to get right now.
yes, precisely. And now they have an opportunity just to outlast these inhibitors coming back up and then try and make some sort of game-winning play, game-winning team fight, which they have a lot of strength in.
They do. I'm glad you responded to my pun with yes, precisely. I don't think that's ever happened before in the history of puns. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Yes, precisely. It's more cultured broadcast here on OGN.
Oh, well, that's definitely true.
Yes. That goes without saying. Right up until I said it. Well, the side lane pressure is still coming from Lonhzhu. Oh, Chaser. Chaser, not again. Caught completely. Tries to get away. Corki finally takes down that mid turret. Chaser has to get out of this. He has to get away. Gold card ambition. If they lose Chaser now,
Very
oh,
nice
that was close.
flash from Chaser, and Coco fortunately there to save his teammate. And that was a bit of a cocky cocoon considering he couldn't see over the wall, and the follow-up was immediate
Yeah, that was.
from Samsung. But the tower is down, so now all inhibitors are fully exposed.
I mean, that was just a bit of an unnecessary risk by Chaser, though.
I mean, what do you get from the? He didn't see. So look at this pink ward. He couldn't see the red, the other invis ward, the green ward right there.
Oh, you're right.
So actually, Chaser made what was a reasonable play, but there was a vision bug in that brush.
Oops. Well, it's big for Lonhzhu, too, because losing Chaser there would have, again, given up all that pressure.
Even if he knew he wasn't seen, cocooning and then moving into melee range on Elise right there was still a bad idea.
Yeah. When you know everyone's right there, that was just dumb. He's lucky he didn't die. He better appreciate that gold card from Coco.
I'm sure he does. I'm sure he was thanking Coco profusely.
I'm sure he is in love with the Coco.
Okay, well, trying to finally get this last inhibitor down right now.
Yeah. I mean, again, the slow but steady pressure from Lonhzhu.
Well, it's been taking a while because they can't take a team fight.
Okay, they got trapped against the former turret there. Remains of the turret, the X-turret. And Lonhzhu has to back up there. I think Coco and Expression are lucky that didn't go worse. Oh, speaking of things going worse, Expression trying to get away, pops a challenge onto Kuve, still at about half health. Meanwhile, Wraith over the wall drops a box in a pretty good spot, gets lit up immediately though.
Well, there's just no follow-up right there. Everybody was too far away to come through on Wraith's engage.
The box caught a lot of people, but yeah, like you said, no follow-up at all from Samsung. And without Wraith, it's a 4v5 that I don't think Samsung can turn into a whole lot.
Yeah, especially with Expression on the flank here.
Yep. Very true. Like one catch with the Celestial Binding from Pure should do it. Oh, they're going to drop Gravity Storm. Coco could be in trouble. Bard ult used to keep Coco alive. Goodbye, Bard. Pure goes out. Coco still low. Captain Jack turning around. Chaser trying to lock people up. They get Captain Jack as well. No, that was Stitch going down. Double kill comes in for Kuve, though. This could change. Triple kill for Kuve. Kuve, low health, has to back off. But that is exactly what they needed. Chaser, too low to do anything useful in Expression. Not able to make a lot happen on his own.
Samsung has been so good at hanging in this game through forcing fights.
Wow.
When Lonhzhu knows that they can't take the team fight. And so they're constantly just trying to back off, reassert their split push. Let's take a look at Kuve during this one. Pops back with his W, then goes in, tries to take Kuve down. That's going to be Azonia's Hourglass onto Coco. But then he's able to get the E back onto Coco, uses the Iceborne to get enough slow, takes him out for the double. He's going to pop the ult for the kill onto Captain Jack. That was a really good poppy ult.
No kidding. Well,
so Samsung, guess what, Doa? Gets the Baron, gets their inhibitors back up, and is still definitely in this game. This is a one team fight game at this point. Lonhzhu also had Expression burn his TP to get into that engagement, which means he's not going to be an effective split pusher now. Kuve still has his up, so it's going to be a waiting game. Expression has to wait for his TP to come back up before really they can do anything. And right now, Samsung has the chance to force another dragon fight to get number 5. So this game became very interesting.
Oh, Kuhn on the Stitch. Gets out on the Lantern, though.
Has to burn his QSS.
Now, all of the inhibitors are back up. For Samsung, Chaser nearly gets caught again. In fact, he may be in big trouble. Bard ult hits Crown, but nobody else.
Well, they're still going to put some damage down, but not
a lot.
Quite enough. TF did vanish from the lane right there. Had to burn his ultimate.
It's Dragon time. Lonhzhu.
There's no Bard ult again for this Dragon.
Yeah, that's a big problem. Lonhzhu just has to try to burn it down before Samsung gets there. That's their only hope. They can't let them have this 5th Dragon. Kuve comes in. Are they going to take the Dragon away? Samsung steals the Dragon. That's their 5th stack. And now Lonhzhu in big trouble. Goodbye, Chaser. I said goodbye, Chaser. There we go.
And Jack on the run now, but there's so many wards.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the vision is good enough for Samsung that they can track him down.
Ooh, nice little duel there. Jack is trying to get into the enemy base to put pressure onto the inhibitor so that they can't end this game.
I mean, he's delaying for so long.
He did buy a lot of time.
He did. He's out for 70 seconds, but I guess it gives, like, Chaser a chance to come back, but it's not going to save their mid inhibitor.
Well, he drew so many people back into the base, though, that even with those home guards, they're going to have to go for a Baron right here instead of outright ending the game.
Guess so.
That was so close. Ambition with the clutch smite as he comes back into the pit. And Samsung down in gold for most of this game. Lonhzhu had been pretty much entirely out macroing them, but Samsung was able just to hold on long enough to get a very critical Baron buff to survive, get their side inhibs back up once again, and now the Baron is going to be theirs.
Yep. Now Lonhzhu, despite having that gold lead, I would say they're on the defensive big time.
Oh, they are, and this AoE from Samsung is very difficult for Longhzhu's composition to deal with. Corki has fallen off big time. Twisted Fate is no match for Victor. And Expression's split push has been nullified by the Baron buff and the fact that he still doesn't have TP.
And we may actually see a game 3 for the first time
Absolutely.
this season.
Be a great comeback from Samsung.
Yeah, they're walking into the base right now, going to try to go for this mid inhibitor turret. Should be able to get the turret without any issues at all. Captain Jack back up again. He's been back up for a little bit. There goes the inhibitor. And Samsung just steamrolling their way through Longhzhu's base.
So Longhzhu will be willing to give up that mid inhibitor, but how much can Samsung get done here? Because they still have 2 tier 2s in each of the side lanes, now just one.
Oh, meanwhile, Expression's
he
killing their
TP'd,
inhibitors.
Or how did he get over there, actually? I didn't even see
do not
him.
know, but
he
he's
ran
gotten one
across
inhibitor.
the map.
He's got one inhibitor already. He's going for the second one in mid lane. Poppy is there. Here's the chase. Actually, Expression's got both inhibitors.
He's going for number 3 right now. He's dueling Cuvée in the base. We can see on the cam right here as they jump around.
Expression
inside.
doesn't have a lot of mana, though. He has to get out. He's going to get caught. He's got a TP, but Poppy's got ways to knock him out of it.
Okay, here's the Rek'Sai coming through Expression
All right.
now. Gonna get knocked up.
Expression.
If he dies, could be a big problem.
He could. Meanwhile, actually in the mid lane, they get Pure. So Expression taken out, Pure dead as well. And Samsung in a great spot to just end this game. I don't know if Captain Jack, Coco, and Chaser can defend the base.
I don't know, but they still have a lot of time to work with, and there are now 2 waves of super minions, so ending by pushing the Nexus right now might be very challenging, but they still have Baron buff, so they're going to try it.
Yeah.
Baron buff, oh, it's going to be close. This is going to be a very interesting defense, Doa.
Well, no backdoor opportunities for Longhzhu. They have to just sit and defend. This is it. They've got a long time before Expression's back up. Pure in about 25, which may be enough time for Samsung to end the game anyway. Here we go. We could go to first game 3.
Oh,
and with the
man.
way those Nexus turrets are dying, I think we are. Second Nexus turret taken out. Captain Jack, Coco, Chaser trying to put all the damage they can, but it's not enough. Samsung with an amazing come from behind victory. GG.
I can't believe Samsung came back from that.
Jeez, that was about as close as it gets.
I mean, they were losing those trades. Every time they would trade that, say, top inhibitor turret for a dragon, but in the end, the dragon stacks, they live long enough to get number 5, and then chain that into some team fight wins and a Baron, which put them back in a position to get a victory when their inhibitors respawn. Really close game. And Longhzhu, it's not like they particularly did anything wrong. I think they played the split push quite well. And yes, they had the Fiora split push advantage, but the fact that they couldn't team fight Samsung in their own base was a really big problem for them.
I mean, Chaser
also
a lot
getting
of the
caught
blame
out
on that guy too. Yeah, it was
big
not
problem.
a great game for him, and he knows it, man.
Yeah, Chaser getting caught out, either chunked or killed, eliminated a lot of the pressure that they needed to slowly work away at those inhibitors.
I mean, it really ended up giving the Baron over to Samsung, didn't it? And that ended up, I feel like Chaser is largely responsible for that loss.
It's hard though. There's a lot of crowd control from the Samsung lineup though that can catch him out.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna have to be a team effort. Come back and win this game 3-4. Whoever ends up taking it.
Yeah, tough loss for Longhzhu. Great comeback from Samsung.
Yeah.
Certainly they can clean up their play in the next game, and we get our first game 3 of the season, Doa. Exciting times.
Yeah.
There's Lustboy. He does not look amused.
I don't think so. Doesn't look too happy about that. Pure got caught a couple times too. But with a little bit cleaner play, you'd think that Longhzhu should be able to close it out. We'll see if they can. Don't go anywhere, guys. Longhzhu versus Samsung, game 3, right after this.